We are now talking to NFL Network newsroom ticker operator and writer, Brendan Walker. Brandon, what's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? Can you guys hear me all right? Is the audio good?
We hear you. You sound great.
Perfect.
How are you feeling since the last time you've been on the show?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm kind of just like you. I got over some sickness
Yeah.
last week, so I'm kind of just in the. I don't have any allergies, but it feels like it just kind of my nose, and then just
I can't get rid
feeling all of it.
I can't get rid of this cough. I mean, I'm feeling better. I've been sneezing a little bit of allergies, but for some reason, I can't get rid of this cough. Everybody says, "Well, you could have had COVID." I didn't have COVID. I took how many tests? 4 or 5 tests. I'm fine. But I had a cold, which then got into my lungs, which eventually became a cough and congestion. And I haven't been the same, but I'm fighting it, and I'm still giving you guys a show. So just bear with me. I'm trying to keep my throat wet, if that sounds right on radio. But I'm just trying to get through the show, as always. But why don't we get into it? This whole Antonio Brown thing is so interesting, and it becomes such a mishmash. And it's such a weird, that the way I present it is a mishmash because I don't know if his brain is categorized or it's not ticking right. This man has done so many weird things on and off the field. He really has. He's a fantastic talent. I mean, this guy is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he'll ever get into the Hall of Fame because I don't know what a committee is going to vote this crazy, in the Hall of Fame for all the stupid things he's done on and off the field. But now you're hearing this. I mean, what more do you need to hear with this guy? Does he need to be thrown into jail? Does somebody need to, strap him up to a chair and feed him something or feed him some pills to calm this guy down? Because this guy is just uncontrollable, Brendan. What are your thoughts to this story?
Oh yeah, I heard a little bit about you guys talking about him just earlier, and dude, this guy. I mean, Antonio Brown, like you said, he's been one of the best wide receivers in the past decade, and everything that he's gone through, I'm surprised there just isn't. I can't help but feel bad because I don't know if there's like anybody reaching out to him or if he has help or if he doesn't want help. Whatever he's going through. Dude, you just mentioned the Hall of Fame. I mean, in terms of the Hall of Fame, like T.O. didn't get in because people didn't like his personality. If that's the case, and we're comparing them to each other, I don't think Antonio Brown would ever get in based on that, category. I don't. I see what's going on in the news. I do feel bad for him. It's just kind of like it's a little bit out of my thing because at work we see it happening, but like we're not really reporting on it just because it's just kind of like it's a sensitive topic. But we do like he is a former player, so we kind of have to look on it. In my opinion, I think he's gone through it, and the Vontaze Burfict thing is for sure one of the main things people like point towards is like the cause of it all. It could have been that. It could have just been a buildup. Nothing, nothing. Everything's like a question mark, really. But I don't know. Antonio Brown, I feel bad for him, man. Hopefully he recovers. But wild stuff going on in the news right now.
So one thing I know you guys have been definitely tracking at NFL Network is where Odell Beckham is going to go. And we just listed the 3 teams he's been visiting. He visited the Giants today, and then the Bills he'll go to tomorrow. So where do you think he'll end up going, and where do you think he'll be the best fit for him? I know you're an Eagles fan, so I know you're not going to want them in the NFC East, but where do you think he ends up going?
Personally, if I had to pick between the 3 teams I think he's going to, I would say the Cowboys. I think it fits him his lifestyle the most. I think the Bills would probably be the best team and probably the best overall talent to get him a legacy ring, which is what he's all about, legacy. But if he went to Dallas, it's kind of a perfect fit. I don't think he likes playing in cold weather. I think he was with the Giants, but he moved to he was in LA. He won a ring with LA. I think he's more of like the star type of player. I know Vaughn's heavily recruiting him to the Bills. I think the Cowboys would be like his thing to just go there. Amari Cooper is gone. He can kind of fit that role in a sense and become an actual star. Not to do a play on words with Dallas.
We are talking to NFL Network newsroom ticker operator and writer Brendan Walker. The Jets are a team that everybody is talking about. And you look at, obviously, Zach Wilson. You saw his face on the sideline on Sunday. Mike White's becoming now again a superstar for the New York Jets. It seems like this team really is backing him up. They're all for this kid. They want this kid to be their starting quarterback. Zach Wilson lost his job in 1 week because he didn't take responsibility for the loss when he lost against New England Patriots in New England. Now, you look at the big picture now, Brendan. You look at the Jets. If they go into Minnesota this week, which a lot of people have them winning, if they go into Minnesota and knock off this pretty good, and I say pretty good because even though they're 9-2, who have they beaten? And really, in the division that they're in, are you really taking them seriously yet? But if they go into Minnesota and knock off the Vikings, and Mike White is a guy that throws 2 to 3 touchdowns, close to 300 yards, that might be the end of Zach Wilson and his existence with the New York Jets. What are your thoughts to that?
I think Mike White is actually incredible. I think he's done really well in the position that he's in. Last year, he took advantage of the opportunity. He beat the Bengals. This is kind of the same situation where he might go into Minnesota and beat a good team on paper and kind of finish the way. He kind of got injured, and so his reign was stopped last year because of that. But he's back, and he's not I'm so on fire with the Jets. He's white hot right now.
I
he's
like
going
that.
crazy.
He's white hot.
Yeah. He's white hot. The locker room loves him. What's being reported and what's being behind the scenes, everybody loves the dude. Meanwhile, everybody's dogging on Zach, for his demeanor in the locker room. And if the Jets went into Minnesota, if they beat the Vikings, I would say it's probably because of the defense, because they would hold that Vikings offense in check. But more so, if White got in there, did his thing, that would be. Personally, I'd be shocked. Because the Jets are a team I'm not super confident in. And I know the Vikings on paper, the schedule-wise, and the top dogs don't play each other all the time. But I think the Jets would make a statement, rather, that game if they beat the Vikings.
Vikings are doing just fine, except for the NFC East. The 3 worst games of the season have come there. So another guy that's been disgruntled with the Jets that came out late last night was James Robinson, who was a healthy scratch in the game against the Bears. It was very surprising. They make a trade for him. They trade a 5th-round pick away, or a 6th-round pick that could become a 5th. So are you surprised that they didn't give him that kind of chance with now Breece Hall being hurt and all the other injuries they've had in the controversy with Zach Wilson too?
I think with everything they've been dealing with so far, it was more so like hey, we believe in this guy, like they believed in White, and they just kind of stuck with it. I don't think it was anything like towards James Robinson, really. I think he just got the bad draw, bad stick, and gave Michael Carter all the way. And I think the team's just doing fine without him, really. Like they made the trade for him to be the guy, to be the replacement, but I don't think anybody could replace Breece Hall's talent, personally. I think Mike White replacing Zach Wilson has made an effect, but running back wise, I think they're fine with the committee they got. They're fine with the other pieces around them. I think they'll be just fine.
And what's so interesting about that is they gave Bam Knight an opportunity, and a lot of people like Bam in the preseason. A lot of people thought he was the best running back out of all of them. Breece Hall and Michael Carter in the preseason, a little bit that we saw Bam, and then he went through waivers. The Jets got him back. They put him on as a red shirt, as a practice squad player. He's played so well in the practices, and they say, you know what, we're going to give you a shot. James Robinson needs to still learn the offense, and they gave Bam an opportunity on Sunday. He ran the ball very well. He ran it over 60 yards. Caught the ball for a little bit over 30-some-odd yards. He was very efficient. And I still think James Robinson, he is definitely going to suit up this week because of Michael Carter's injury, the high ankle sprain. He could be out a couple of weeks. They're definitely going to make sure that Michael Carter is healthy for the playoffs. But Bam, he's an efficient running back and definitely a weapon, and a weapon that Jets control. And even next year, if they decide to part ways with James, Bam is an absolute beast of a man. And I think he can absolutely be a starting running back in the NFL if some team gives him a chance. So I love the move with Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh has taken a lot of chances. He's been taking receipts, and his receipts have been right. Everything that he's done has been right. Mike White coming in over Zach Wilson was a right move. Michael Carter being hurt, bringing in Bam over James, I think it was a good move. A lot of the moves that he has made, making Max Mitchell his starting right tackle before he got hurt, was the right move after George Font. And everything that's been falling and fitting together has been the right move for the New York Jets. We are talking to NFL Network newsroom ticker operator and writer Brendan Walker. So the New York Giants, and I'll sit here and I think it's like a wave, okay? If you were surfing a big wave right now, sometimes you hit that wave and you flatline, you fall off that wave. And right now, the New York Giants have fallen and they flatlined on that wave. And they haven't played well in the last couple of weeks. A lot of people want to point fingers at the quarterback play. I don't believe it's the quarterback. They have no weapons to throw out. They have a bunch of guys. Who are they? I mean, they lose Robinson for the season. He was a second-round draft pick, so overrated. They overpaid Kenny Golladay. Thank you, Gettleman. He's gone, and Kenny Golladay hasn't stepped on the field since Dable has taken over. And yes, Slayton has become a good player, but he is not an elite player. He's not a number one. He's more of a number two, number three. They've got nothing. All they've got is a healthy Saquon Barkley. That is it. So what is it with this team? Is Dable really that good of a coach? Does this team still have a chance of making the playoffs, even with the injuries that they have? And by the way, no receivers to throw at?
I think what you're heading towards saying is that the Giants are an average team, riding on the high at the beginning of the season, favorite schedule, as does the rest of the NFC East. But people were high, like on Brian Dable. He's leading the team. He's leading the charge, new head coach, all that stuff. And then they've fallen off. And I think it's because the lack of talent. You're listing the wide receiver core. It's just not elite. I think they're just very average on defense too. Like, people will make plays every now and then, but this team's kind of like a flip of the coin. Like, they're either gonna be great, and right now they're in the 6th spot. But the Commanders are rising up against them, and they're hot. Giants need to step it up.
Taylor Heinicke, baby. It is all about the Hankster. That's what I'm talking about. It's not Carson Wentz. It's not the Commanders and their stupidity of names that they put out there. No. It is Taylor Heinicke. Who would have thought that Taylor Heinicke has become an overnight superstar? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I have lost my mind. But Taylor Heinicke has not lost a game since he's taken over for the last couple of weeks. So it's been unbelievable. He's been sensational, and the numbers don't really stick out. It really doesn't. I don't think his numbers like 213 yards, 198. It's not something. But the team believes in him. The team trusts in him. And I think he's the starting quarterback moving forward for this team. And if somehow they could sneak into the playoffs again like they did, I don't know, last year, it would be pretty amazing. It really would.
If they don't give him the shot now, I don't know when they ever will, honestly.
So let's go to Carson Wentz's former team, your Philadelphia Eagles. 10-1 right now, best
my
record.
second team, baby.
Errol's second team as well.
I'm a Donovan McNabb fan. I hung out with him in Miami for the Super Bowl. Over the years, I'm a Jet fan, and everybody knows I'm a Jet fan. But I have been so hard on the Jets. They never make the playoffs, and they never made the playoffs when Donovan McNabb was playing in the league. So my second favorite team was the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they never won. At least I had the experience.
They made 6 straight NFC championship games.
And they went to a Super Bowl. Yeah. They did lose against the Patriots, which really made me want to throw up. But, nevertheless, I experienced something with them, and then I watched them win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, so I was happy about that. I am a Jet fan, diehard. If it was the Jets or the Eagles, it's the Jets. But I was very happy to see them win a Super Bowl finally a couple of years ago.